Welcome to the Ask Jay Show, episode 54. I am Jay Morrison, the Jay Morrison, Mr. Real Estate. And we're going to hop into episode 54 of the Ask Jay Show, right, which is a daily blog, so to speak, or daily episodes where I answer 5 questions a day and give you a motivational message of the day for my audience and for those who hashtag Ask Jay. Their questions to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media platforms. So, I try to get these done during the day, but my days zoom by, and by the time I get the questions, typically it's like late evening, late afternoon, and next thing I know, it's midnight half the time when I'm doing these, which is kind of cool because I get to recap my day a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, like I've done a million things and like now I gotta shoot a video and be sharp. So that's good. So I want to, I guess, give my motivational message of the day first. And again, for those of you who are new to this, I freestyle. These questions, I don't get to read them first. These I actually got to see a little bit because I had to write them down because I couldn't get to my other phone to actually read them. So, just let you know a little bit about the platform. I guess one thing I want to also say is that you guys should be literally, when I say share the videos, I don't just mean it just so I can say the same thing every episode. I really want you guys to share these videos. We should be doubling our views and our attendance for these because if everyone who watched this, right, it's the same amount of people watching it every day. It's pretty consistent. If all you guys who watched it actually shared it every day, more people would actually pick up on it and be part of this movement and be able to get this information. So I do want you to really share the video, like to your Twitter or to your Facebook, actually share it, or to your email or to your text. Tell somebody about, what you guys have been watching consistently now for 54 days. And we got, how many more left? 40 something? 40, no, less than that, 36. Man, we balling, 36 more days. So anyway, my motivational message of the day is, I kind of like that. I was in Baltimore all weekend, and one thing I want to say is, like, I'll just make it real quick and brief, is that even with success, like, you personally check your pride and ego at the door. Like, never get too prideful because you now are having success. That's one of the biggest, I think, detriments to having money. And that's why I'm so excited that we are now talking more about wealth and wealth DNA and activating your wealth DNA and changing your mindset. Because there's nothing like giving a fool the keys to making some money, or someone who's immature, doesn't have an integrity, or someone whose character is not totally developed. So, like, I could show you how to make some money, but if your heart's not right, your mind's not right, you're going to make money and you're going to act stupid with it. And you're going to make money and you're not going to actually, you're going to be feeling yourself, really. I mean, if you get a check for 70 grand over the next 90 days, right, you do like some of the strategies that I teach, and you say you use a hard money, you flip a house and you evaluate it the right way, and now you cleared a check and you made 70 grand profit. Most of you, especially if you're new to money, those of you even who aren't new to money, if you catch a check for 70 grand and your heart's not right, your mind's not right, you're going to do a lot of stupid things with it in regards to your spending, in regards to celebrating, in regards to where you reinvested or how you reinvested, in regards to it being budgeted, in regards to taxes, having your financial team in order, your financial place, in regards to your retirement goals and your dream life goals, right? So if you don't have a strong foundation in place, you're going to screw up even with the knowledge that we get. And that's why we are making sure that we are developing you guys. And now I'm making sure me as a mentor and as a leader, that I'm always making sure that my message is as accurate, as on point as possible. And so I'm making sure I always grow and evolve and never stop learning. And that's I guess part of what I want to say too, is just outside of like with your success and progress, to always check yourself, check your ego, check your pride, and make sure that your heart is pure, right? And you're not getting, it's cool to have, little charisma and confidence and swagger about yourself, but don't be, you know what I mean? Like we gotta, I think the humility piece is like so dope when you can like actually be doing your thing, but also remain humble and remain um, focused on serving and not just celebrating. And to always keep developing yourself and always keep evolving. As you guys have watched me over the last couple of years, you see I'm always evolving, challenging myself, not claiming to be perfect, just claiming to be authentic. Not even claiming to, just living authentic. So anyway, that's my motivational message of the day. Take from that, I guess, what you can. But I think the constantly evolving. Don't be scared to evolve. Don't be scared what people are gonna think. Like let God use you and work with you how He needs to work with you. Just be clay and let Him mold you. So anyway, enough of the long talk. Let's get to our 5 questions of the day. First one is from YouTube. This is from Gardy J23, and it's how do you feel about tax lien certificates? Do you feel it's worth it for worth it hitting people's properties before they hit the auction for tax liens, right? So with tax lien certificates, you're basically purchasing someone's owed taxes, right? A lien they had on their house for a property for taxes, and you are trying to put yourself in a lien position that if they don't pay their taxes or pay you back the money that you've now fronted them for their taxes or you paid for their taxes, you put yourself in a position in line with other liens or mortgages or whatever to be able to possibly own that property if they don't pay the tax lien back. If you don't get a chance to own the property, or if you don't actually get through with owning the property if they never pay the tax lien back, you also will make a lot of interest on the money, right? So it's tax lien certificates to me is a great midterm strategy to get great returns on your money. 9, 10, 11, 12%, 15% sometimes, right? So, and you do have the option in the right, or you do have the ability in the right circumstance to actually steal off on a property for very, very cheap if someone doesn't pay those tax liens. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed. You have to compete with other liens that may be ahead of you, but it is an opportunity for you to be able to make great returns on your money. And I think that's what it's about. If you get into tax liens, your goal should not be, your goal should be earning interest on your money at a higher rate than the bank. That's what tax liens allow you to do. And look at you getting a property out of it as a super duper bonus, and it's not necessarily the likely case all the time. So don't think that you just buy a tax lien and someone doesn't pay and now the house is yours. It doesn't work that simply. Anyway, next YouTube question, Jamal Lightborn asks, how can we transform the black community when our unconscious kings continue to destroy their own environment, their own community? Well, one is just not the kings that are destroying the community, but I agree that black men in general in our communities aren't living up to our fullest potential as leaders and as kings and as fathers and as examples, right? That's a fact. We're definitely not doing our best. We're still repairing, we're still healing, right? From a lot of trauma and a lot of what we've been through. So if someone's unconscious, that means they are not awake. That's what you got to understand what that term means. And that means so it's our job to wake them up. Just as I or you had to be woken up depending on how early we received a good message and a good word. So that's why I think for us, we have to be consistent with our message, with our word, consistent with leveraging the facts, consistent with not blaming ourselves. That's one thing that keeps, I think, a lot of people from waking up is no one wants to feel, especially when you're a victim, when you know things ain't been right in your life, but you didn't put yourself in this environment. So you feel like a victim already because you're in the ghetto, you were born in poverty, your parents may have been on crack or on drugs or in prison or whatever, but now people are telling you how you're the problem. And it's very hard for people to get past that fact when it's like, you know, I liken it to a rape victim, being female or male, and now that rape victim is a promiscuous person, right? So they're like, you know, very sexually irresponsible, sexually aggressive, or whatever the case is, right? And so you're mad at this person, like, yo, why are you having sex so much? Why are you sleeping around with everybody? You know, why are you using unprotected sex, et cetera, et cetera. So you're blaming this person for their sexual activity, but you're never looking at the molestation or the rape or the sexual assault that they suffered. So you're blaming the victim for living out the trauma that they suffered. And I think that's a big part, is that we got to get off the blame game and make sure we place the blame in the right place and just begin to really, I think it starts with love and showing like our kings that, you know what I mean, all the anger, all the pain, all the hate that we feel be counterbalanced with black love. And, you know, especially black men loving black men. And I think we do that by leading by example. I think that starts to wake everybody up and show them that, yo, we all on the same page, we all in the same fight, we all got the same pain. And so, you know, that's just kind of what we do. But I believe education is a big component of it as well. And showing our kings that, look, we haven't been taught how to eat right, how to feed ourselves, how to feed our families right. We haven't been taught that. There's nowhere where black people, black men especially, or anyone have gotten a great financial education from their upbringing. So we get it how we live. We get it the best way we know how. And our environment teaches us certain ways. A lot of times those ways are illegal or they're far-fetched with being an entertainer or sports figure. So we're kind of stuck in the crux. And that's why our mission with YMC and JMA is so hell-bent on education, because that's really where the keys open the doors. So when the education meets the road. So that's that one. And